beautiful, and it's easy to see. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be.
All right, so you want to be a nurse, but you're not quite sure what you need to do. So I've been asked a lot recently, what should I do to become a nurse? What steps do I need to take? Where do I need to go? So hopefully this video will help someone. All right, so if you want to be a nurse, the first thing I would say you need to do is research. Look at the different schools in your area and see what prerequisite courses they need, what is their, average GPA, and see kind of where you fit in. Basically with nursing school, you want to get in where you fit in. And there are different paths to becoming a nurse. So don't just think, so a lot of people say, oh, to be a nurse, you have to go to a 4-year college or university, and that's the only way you can become a nurse. No, there are different levels of nurses. Some nurses are LPNs or LVNs, depending on the region. They use a different name or title, which LPN is licensed practical nurse, LVN is licensed vocational nurse. There are RNs with associate degrees, and there are RNs with bachelor's degrees or BSNs. So there are different levels, there are different types, there are different schools that you can go to get each of these different degrees. So starting off with LPNs and LVNs. So LPNs and LVNs, they typically go to trade schools or technical schools, and the program is usually about 1 year in length. You don't need prerequisite courses to get into these programs, so you can graduate from high school and go straight into a technical school or trade school and end up with a diploma that leads you to a career that is pretty has a pretty good income. No, you're not going to be balling out of control, but it has a good income that can put you in position to advance your career further. It makes you more financially stable. So with the LPN or LVN programs, like I said, you don't need prerequisite courses. The prerequisites that you need are built into the program. So typically they start with Anatomy and Physiology 1. And like I said, it's built into the program. The program is 1 year in length, but it is not easy by any means. They cover a lot of material in that 1 year. And then once it's completed, again, you have tests just like for any other nursing program. And at the end, if you are successful, you are eligible to sit for boards. And that's pending any, legal issues that you may have, again, which they will cover in the programs. And if you are uncertain about your legal status, it is always okay to call the school and talk to someone in the nursing program and just, ask about what types of situations would prevent someone from being eligible for boards. And that's if that is a real genuine concern for you. You do need to talk to someone on the front end as opposed to waiting to the end and finding out that you will not be allowed to sit for boards. So moving along to the associate degree RN. So associate degree RNs, they typically go to community colleges. Now some community colleges do have in their program, it's built into the program, the LPN or LVN level. So once you finish that first year, you sit for boards and then you go to the next level. But also, which a lot of people don't know, in all of these programs, once you finish a certain portion, you can apply for certain titles. Like for example, the LPN and the RN programs, once you complete the first semester, let's say you need a job, you need some money right away, you can actually sit for the CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant. You can sit for their certification test and actually have that certificate and work as a CNA while you complete your education. So that is one avenue that you can take to help kind of pay for your schooling, because nursing school is not cheap by any means, but I'll come back to that. So again, once you finish that first semester, you can apply for the CNA. After you finish your first year, and a lot of people don't know this, but once you finish your first year of an RN program, and I think it might vary by the state, but I know here in Tennessee, once you finish that first year, you can actually apply to test for the LPN license. Would I recommend that? Well, it depends on the person. If you are someone who has studied a lot, you know, and you might have had a previous healthcare background, that might be a good avenue for you. But I will say, as someone who has taken the LPN boards, it is not easy. It is not just going to be, oh, I've taken a few courses, I'm going to come in and knock this thing right on out. No, because again, it is an adaptive test, just like the NCLEX RN. The NCLEX LPN is adaptive, and it will adapt to you. So if you're getting one subject correct, it will move to the next one, and it will go to a higher and higher level until you miss the next question. And so it's would I recommend it? Depending on the person, absolutely. But if you're kind of a slacker, you're not doing that great in your courses, and you're not sure if you're going to finish at the end anyway, I would not recommend spending the money, because it is an expensive test. And so again, in the community colleges, they typically have the RN, which is an associate degree program. And prior to getting into that program, you have to look at the prerequisites that the school wants you to have, or the school requires. Typically, they require anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, and microbiology, and I think 1 English course. And some schools, I know, they require a nutrition course, and sometimes you can take that as a co-requisite and not as a prerequisite, meaning you can take that while you are in the program. Would I recommend it? Depends on the person. If you're a person who studies really hard and can handle a lot of courses, then absolutely you can do that. If you are a C student, that might not be the thing for you to do. It might be better for you to go on and get it out of the way prior to getting into the actual program, so that way you can focus on the program and completing it. As far as bachelor's degrees, which is the BSN, again, they get you to the point where you can take the NCLEX RN, and sometimes they have the exact same prerequisites as the associate degree programs, but they might have an additional prerequisite. Sometimes they have chemistry as an added course, and I know they have additional English courses, and then there are general education requirements that vary depending on the school, the state, and the school system. So that would be something that, again, you have to research when looking at the schools that you want to apply to. Now, when applying to schools, you have the school application, but then you also have the nursing school application. For some schools, it is not a separate fee for the nursing school application, but for larger universities, it might be. Again, that's one of those things you have to research. And then another thing I always tell people, when you're looking, or when you think you want to do nursing, or you think you want to get into a nursing program, absolutely start saving money. Once that thought goes into your mind, once you start researching and looking at schools, stumbling across videos on YouTube, absolutely start to save your money, because nursing school is expensive. And it does not matter what level you're on. Yes, the technical school and associate schools are cheaper than the universities, but it still adds up, because nursing, again, is science-based courses, so you have lab hours that you have to pay extra fees for. You have uniforms that you have to wear, books, which are expensive, and then there are emergencies. Whenever you start nursing school, no matter what level you start, something will go wrong. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, is what we typically say. It will be cars, friendships, relationships, family members. Something will go wrong, and you just have to be mentally prepared and financially prepared for those. Now, is there ever a perfect time to start nursing school? Absolutely not. There's never a perfect time. Your life will never be absolutely 100% perfectly ready for you to start. You just have to take that time and take a chance on yourself. Invest in yourself and take a chance on yourself, because it will be totally worth it in the end. You will study hard, you will work hard, but you will absolutely get to play hard once it's all said and done. So it's definitely worth it. It is hard, but it is doable, and it is something that you will absolutely love, or I absolutely love. Hopefully you will love it as well. I know there are some people who felt like nursing school didn't prepare them, but at the end of the day, you get out of nursing school what you put into it. You get out of your career what you put into it. Every day is going to be something different. Some days will be absolutely wonderful. Some days will be absolutely dreadful. But at the end of the day, this is the career choice that you made. And for me, it is absolutely worth it. I will say this, me personally, I've been through the LPN level, the RN level, and now I'm currently in the BSN level. And prior to these, completing all these levels, I was told that I would never ever be a nurse. I got into a program and was not successful. I applied to programs and was not admitted. But at the end of the day, I knew this is what I wanted. And so, again, it's not going to be easy, but it is worth it. And you just have to keep pushing through it. And like the song said at the beginning of the video, if it's meant to be, it will absolutely be for you. What's for you is yours. Name it, claim it, and go get it. So that's my soapbox for today. If you like this video, if you felt like it was helpful, like, comment, and subscribe, and also share it. And if you have any questions, just drop them down in the comment box, and I would love to answer if I'm able. If not, I'll find somebody who can. Because I don't know is never the answer. So yeah, thanks for watching.